Alright, hello everyone. This is going to be a quick video on how to install an armrest or remove one on your BMW F30. So today I have an Alcantara sliding armrest that I picked up off eBay for pretty cheap. And the reason I purchased this was to replace my armrest that is starting to fail right here. You can kind of see the leather grain is like really different here, and it's like worn out. That's where my elbow would rest, and it kind of gets sticky, especially in the hot summers. My elbow does stick to that and turn black, so it's kind of annoying. So I'm gonna have to replace this one with the brand new one we got. And then you only need a few tools for this job. You'll need a set of pliers, a trim tool, which is optional, but I'm just gonna keep it handy in case I need it, and a flathead screwdriver of some sort. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is to hop in the back of your car. Keep all of your tools handy with you. Make sure they don't scratch the leather. And flip your seats up. So I have a 4 Series, so I can just flip the seats to the back quickly so that rear passengers can get in. I'd recommend folding both of them up because there's pins that have to come out, and to pull those pins out you want to make sure you don't scratch the leather. If you don't have a 4 Series and you cannot flip up your seats, I would recommend just pushing them all the way forwards with the electronic moving thing. So first thing you want to do is either you just try with your hand, or you can use a trim tool, and there's a little line on the back, there's a crevice, and you can try to pry from there, and once you do that, this whole panel should be able to come back. Alright, just like that. Once you pull it back, there will be a couple connections on the back that you have to disconnect. Alright, so what I did end up doing was unplugging this switch from the back. There's 2 connections that go to the back of here. One to control the temperature of the vents in the back, and one for the the cigarette lighter. Or if you have the heated seats option, you might as well have a 3rd connection. But in my case, I only have 2 connections. I disconnected the one for the cigarette lighter port, which is kind of tough. And the one for the vents is actually a smaller wire, which I didn't feel like disconnecting. I also couldn't. It just seemed kind of tough. But there's enough play on this that I can set this away to the side and not have to worry about it too much. And now I have a lot of room to work with the spring. Alright, so here's a better angle on what we're going to do. So if you kind of see right where I'm pointing the edge of this flathead screwdriver, you want to put this under there and kind of pry up. Just like that. Okay, that released a lot of dust, but you see how this became free, and now we have enough room. Now we release the tension on the spring. Okay, so we want to push these 2 pins out. There's 2 pins right here. You want to take the edge of your flathead screwdriver and push one left and push one right, pushing them outwards from the armrest. And then once you have them out far enough where they peek out of the sides, you want to take your pliers and pull them. Okay, so once you have done that, this whole spring is free, and you can set that to the side, and your whole armrest assembly should be able to come out quite easily. Just make sure to unclip it at the front like you were to normally open it, and then gently rock it out of here. And there is going to be a gear right here, so you kind of want to let that spin as if it were to open, then you'll be able to pry it back. We can go ahead and install our new armrest. So we can just simply set this into place. Just make sure all the gears line up. Alright, so first thing I did was kind of loosely get this situated and repeat as the same order as we removed everything. So since we took out the spring last, we'll put that in first. So I would kind of put it on these 2 notches right here, one on the left and one on the right, and sort of let it hang. Then we can kind of adjust this here and this here later, but for now just keep it there and get your 2 pins out. And remember this, let me see if I can get the camera to focus on there. if you can kind of see, the edge of this has like a knurled end to it. That should go facing towards the outside of the armrest, and the side with the points should be facing the center of the armrest. So you want to take it right here. Okay, you want to take this and feed it through and kind of adjust the armrest guides as necessary while feeding it through. As well as the spring, make sure you kind of push that, and you can either use your pliers or your flathead to kind of push this through. Alright, okay, that's all the way in, so I'll take this set of pliers. Okay, that one works. Take this and try to push it as far as I can for now. And I'm not gonna lock it just yet. Take this one and then go from the other side, making sure we have it in the same way as the other side. And since that side went in, it should have perfectly lined up here. Now we can push this in. Alright. Make sure you make it nice and flush on the edges. Press it as far back as you can. There you go. So now this side is smooth. I'll show you that in a second. I'm gonna repeat the same over here. So once I pushed in the spring, or the little pin actually, it should be perfectly smooth and shouldn't stick out at all. Only thing we should be left to do is to push this centerpiece of the spring, once we get it aligned on all these hooks, and kind of lock it into that tab in the back. That took a lot of force to get in, but it looks to be holding nicely and steadily. You just make sure that the pin is sitting on all the guides, all the plastic pieces, and it is hooked in back here with the tension, and the pins are all in forwards as far as they can be. Once we're done that, you kind of want to get this piece right here. You want to hook up your cigarette lighter ports that you just disconnected earlier. Make sure it's pressed on all the way. There you go. And make sure all the clips on all the sides align nicely. So in this case, I think some of them go inside and some of them go outside. Yeah. Alright, so that's everything back in place. So that's it. That's the installation and removal of the aftermarket and OEM armrest. I believe there is a way to kind of rewrap these, but that's kind of a tedious process because there's no easy tabs or screws you can remove. I think it's just plastic riveted, mounted together. So thanks BMW for doing that. But for now, we have a good functioning armrest that won't stick to you and will slide back and forth. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.